god. We're back. It's season 3. Finally. Sorry it's taken so long. Why am I apologising? You don't care, you're doing other stuff. This is really just for my own volition, but I have a small fan base. Nah, it's not even fans. I have a small number of people who click on these videos sometimes. And that's good enough for me. And it's enough to keep me doing these, because it gives me a purpose. We all need a purpose in life. We all need something to do. Don't worry folks, it's gonna pick up, I swear. Season 3, this is a good one. I'm changing things around a little bit. First of all, it's not gin, it's vodka. Day drinking. So, oh wow, I made that strong. What are we gonna do? Season 3, Onslaught. Yes! This is what I've been waiting to do for ages and ages. Hang on, I've got my guitar in front of me and my big, deep, booming voice is actually echoing through the guitar and sounding kind of weird. So, where were we? Yes, Onslaught. This is gonna be big. Might be a few parts, but it's gonna be fun because what is one of the staple things about the Onslaught story is it involves everyone. Like, Gary Oldman in Leon. Everyone! Like, the entire Marvel universe. Except the cosmic people. Yeah, okay, so no cosmic people. Besides that, it's pretty much everyone. A lot of characters that come up I've already done reviews for, so I kind of like refer back to that. I'm not going to double up on reviews. No one wants to see that. No one probably wants to see this, but I'm doing it anyway. So, Onslaught. My favourite, excessive, ridiculous story from the 90s. I gotta slow down. So, where were we? I'm going to talk you through the story of Onslaught. For this first episode, I'm going to tell you the full story of Onslaught in 10 minutes. 8 minutes now, because we've just gone 2. So, I'm going to splice in pictures and clips and little figure stuff, so it's a whole multimedia extravaganza. So, Onslaught. Picture this. We're in the halcyon days of the mid-90s. The age of apocalypse has been and gone and left in its wake this idea in Marvel that, oh my god, crossovers are big business. So, someone has the brainchild. I don't know who, I'm not a historian, get out of here. But, Onslaught. Okay, we're gonna do this multi-comic issue, month, forever crossover. So let's not beat around the bush. Uncanny X-Men 300 and something? 322, maybe? Okay. Uncanny X-Men. We got Beast and we've got Bishop, and they're just walking through the street, minding their own business, doing their own thing, when all of a sudden this meteor goes flying overhead and they're like, what the hell is that? Well, it's a meteor, obviously. And they go to intercept it, see where it lands, it crashes, boom, right in the middle of Times Square. They go to find it, and what is it? It's not a meteor, it's the Juggernaut, bitch. I shouldn't have used that awful GIF thing, meme. Anyway, that notwithstanding, the Juggernaut has crashed into Times Square. What the hell has done this is the question, because nothing stops the Juggernaut. No one can stop the Juggernaut. Something has stopped the Juggernaut. Not only that, but they literally punched him across the country. It reminds me of this wonderful promo that Muhammad Ali once cut on George Foreman, where he recites this poem that he wrote about punching George into orbit and seeing him sail across the Atlantic. That's what happened to the Juggernaut. So the Juggernaut wakes up. Oh, also kind of funny, when I saw when flicking back through this comic, I'll share this panel with you now. How's that for a timely cover or page right there? Look at that. Archangel and whatever her name is, observing, mask wearing, and not social distancing, but hey, they were 25 years ahead of their time. To go back to the 90s. Anyway. So, Juggernaut wakes up and he is freaked. He is like, what is... I gotta get out of here. So, he jumps up and he runs for it, and of course when the Juggernaut starts running, you ain't gonna stop him. So he's smashing through things, and Beast and Bishop are trying to catch up to him and stop him. They're trying to put him down so he doesn't hurt himself, or more to the point, anyone else. So they're wrestling and fighting with the Juggernaut, and yeah, they manage to settle him down by massively electrocuting him. It's the best way to deal with someone who's not of sound mind. So yeah, they put him down and they're like, dude, relax, all right? I need you cool. Are you cool? And Juggernaut's like, just one word. They say, who did this to you? And he's like, Onslaught. Bum, bum, bum. So that's it. Onslaught. The name has been dropped. A name that is going to echo for months to come, because this is just the beginning. So technically, I would say the first character that pops up in the story of Onslaught is the Juggernaut. So let's take a little look at him. Folks, look at this. Look at this pose. Just this is why I'm starting off in this pose, because I'm going to mess him up later to show you all the difference of articulation and all that nerdy stuff that we all care about. But first of all, just this is why this figure is so good. Look, you've got the articulation in the ankles that lets you pose him in an actual one-legged running pose. How cool is that? Oh yeah, so yeah, I love this figure. This figure is so good. It's just great. This particular Juggernaut is, of course, the Colossus 2-pack Juggernaut. There's also a very similar Bath version as well, which I do not have. I wish I did, because that wave goes for like a fortune now. But I have the Colossus 2-pack, and especially when he is in his running pose, oh my god, nothing can stop the Juggernaut. But let me take him now, and we're going to play around with him. And when you can see how this Juggernaut is worth the price of admission, which is quite hefty, because due to being in... excuse me, just while a helicopter flies past. There you go, it's just... I could edit this, but no, I'll just leave it in. That's just how I'm living my life now. Yeah, he's part of the Colossus 2-pack, so a lot of people had to buy this 2-pack just to get Colossus. Well, I think everyone had to buy this 2-pack if they want a Colossus, which is a kind of lame thing for Hasbro to do, but that's Hasbro for you. But you do get this Juggernaut, and there's a lot of debate. Is this better than the Bath? Is the Bath better? You know what? Personally, I prefer the Bath because it has more details on the belt and it's got a different texture on the helmet. But you know what? I'm happy to take this guy because he is still just so good. Look at the detail inside the helmet, the gridded, gnarled teeth. I'm not sure how I feel about the plain white eyes. I think I would have maybe preferred actual eyes, but I'll let that go because he's just a lot of fun. The paint job looks terrific. He's so well articulated, as you could see from his running pose. He comes with different hands. He has 2 clenched fists and 2 open hands. I like to go for one of each, like he's kind of, just like reeling back to go and, chock someone in the clops or whatever you call it. Either way, I'm not going to show you both hands because you have an imagination. Just swap them over. I can't do everything for you. So yeah, he's fantastic. And of course, what is extra cool about him is he has accessories, which Hasbro can be really bad about. You can actually pop his head off, and we have battle damaged Colossus. Colossus, what am I talking about? We have battle damaged Juggernaut head, which funnily enough, he doesn't actually look battle damaged when Onslaught beats the holy living bejesus out of him. His helmet isn't even bashed. Ooh, sounds a bit rude. But yeah, we have this battle damaged version, which I think looks really cool. I wouldn't display him like this because I like displaying all my characters in their classic versions, I suppose. But as an extra, that's the funny thing. I've got to admit, I will bitch that we don't get enough accessories, but all I do is tend to just throw most of them in my, accessory bin and never use them. So I really have no leg to stand on. But yeah. Look at the detail in the face. So good. He looks like he's just gone 10 rounds with Tyson. Who couldn't at this day and age? Actually, no, I say that. Have you seen Mike Tyson on Instagram and stuff? The dude still looks like a killer. But I digress. Yeah, this Juggernaut is
terrific. Basically, you know, when they were selling the 2-pack, I think it was pretty much, hey, buy Colossus for £60 and get Juggernaut for free, because everyone just wanted Colossus. But since I didn't have the Bath Juggernaut, that actually worked out pretty good. You know, 60 bucks for this huge, big, chunky figure and a gorgeous Colossus, I'll take them. But yeah, this Juggernaut gets, you know, I still don't have a rating system. Damn it, I should have worked on that. But anyway, this Juggernaut gets a double thumbs up from me. I'm a big fan of this, especially with the running pose. He is terrific.
Okay, I realised that there's no way I'm going to be able to tell the entire Onslaught story in one episode of this. That was just bonkers. I'm far too verbose. So, forget that. I'm just going to stick with this Juggernaut review. Again, this episode is it's a prologue. It's a prologue for Onslaught. It's Onslaught Part 1. And it's the Juggernaut review. So it's a prologue and a Juggernaut review. So I'm going to kind of go unchronologically, if that's a word. Because Juggernaut, I'll tell you the rest of his story to wrap up this episode. So Juggernaut cannot remember who it was that battered him. I love that they introduce Onslaught like a new character in pro wrestling. Like, yeah, they're like, right, we got this big new bad guy. We're gonna give him a monster push. So we're gonna have him smash through like you know, the last big heel to get him over. So Juggernaut puts over Onslaught in his debut match, and he does a good job of doing it as well. So Juggernaut has amnesia. He can't remember who this Onslaught person is. So Jean Grey tries to help him with her psychic therapy. She goes into his mind to try and unlock these barriers that he's put up to try and, you know, sort of protect himself from this memory. So there's a funny little crossover between, I think, X-Men and Uncanny X-Men, where at the start of the story she's in plain clothes, and in the next half she's in her X-Men gear, and they actually put a little editor's box where it's like, hey, we messed up. If you can explain how she changed clothes between issues, you win a no prize. I salute Marvel for being like, hey, what are you gonna do? So yeah, Jean manages to break down these psychic barriers. She manages to get inside his head, and together they figure out the idea, or they realize the identity of Onslaught. And of course, that is a mic drop moment of we're effed. We're effed in the A, because Jean is like, I know who he is. And of course they're going to draw out the suspense a little bit more, even though like every man and his dog knows where this is going. So Juggernaut, panicked, terrified, like jumps up, starts racing through the mansion to get away. And the irony is that he's calling for his brother Chuck to save him. He's calling for help from Xavier, completely unaware of who Xavier actually is, or who Onslaught is. So he bursts into Xavier's room, and while all this has been happening, this is actually a great kind of sort of scene where it shows Xavier's meltdown, basically, because he's had this Onslaught personality in his head for such a long time. I haven't actually said who Onslaught is, but I mean, you kind of know anyway, but okay, super fast, because this is really going to take too long. But yeah, so in X-Men 25, Fatal Attractions, when Magneto was mind-wiped by Professor X, Magneto sucked out Wolverine's adamantium, and Professor X was like, right, that's it, I've had it! So he mind wipes Magneto, but actually, and they probably didn't plan this at the time, but just by pure coincidence, it looks really good, because they showed like this energy coming out of Magneto and like drifting towards Xavier and like vice versa. So I think they kind of like, not retcons, didn't change anything, but they kind of said like, hey, when that happened, Magneto's mind was absorbed by Xavier. So unknown to Xavier, he had absorbed Magneto's mind or his psyche, or just part of his subconscious. So this whole time since then, the subconscious evil, frustration, anger of Magneto has been festering inside Xavier. making this Onslaught personality that Xavier hasn't even been aware of, but it's been creeping out more and more and more until finally he just has this huge meltdown when he's sitting and he's dwelling on all his past failures. He's thinking about how he failed to rehabilitate Sabretooth, how he failed to stop Wolverine from going feral, how he sees all these mutants on television still being abused and battered, and he just flips out and completely loses control, and that's when Onslaught takes over. Exactly when Juggernaut comes in begging for help. And oh god, this must have been so satisfying for the character of Xavier. Because after his whole life of being bullied and subjugated by this big brute of the Juggernaut, he's like, oh, how the turntables. I wasn't being done, that was an office quote. So yeah, Onslaught's like, Chuck's not here, bitch. And he rips the Crimson Gem of Sidorak out of the chest of Juggernaut. And he's like, this is mine now. And Juggernaut just collapses, like shriveled to the floor, like Bane in Batman and Robin when they pull his juice out, which is, oh god, that was an awful film, wasn't it? Anyway, that was awesome. So that kickstarts the Onslaught story. In the epilogue of that, just to wrap up Juggernaut's involvement, so when the gem is ripped out of him, his consciousness, I don't know if it's physical as well or just mental or what, but either way, he is sucked into the Crimson Gem of Sidorak. And of course, since it's a mystical kind of thing, the person who finds it and finds out all about this is Doctor Strange. So Doctor Strange has to kind of throw his hand in there to help Kane Marco sort of break free from the gem, and basically to do so he has to go through these trials and defeat the spirit of Sidorak, which he does. He gets a nice big makeover. He defeats the Sidorak demon thing, and he smashes out of the crystal, out of the gem, and he's back. Juggernaut is back, bigger and better than ever. I like the idea that he was probably he comes out as a big hero pose, like, I'm back. Onslaught's not here, is he? No, they beat him. I'm back. Unfortunately for poor old Juggernaut, he actually gets jobbed out soon after to the Incredible Hulk. So it's again, wrestling sort of terminology, it's like, he's been repackaged and refreshed, and oh, no, he's been jobbed out again. Well, that didn't last long. In fairness, it was the Hulk who had been augmented by Apocalypse. He was his Horseman of War, so you can get away with that. Either way, whew. That was episode 1 of the Onslaught saga. And we got a review in there as well. This wasn't a complete drunken waste of time. Alright, I'm going to end this video here. But I'm going to keep on doing more talking because I'm kind of on a roll now. But if you want to see what we come to next, you got to tune into the next episode. So guys, thanks so much for joining me. It's really good to be back. I hope you enjoyed the Juggernaut review. Like, share, and subscribe. This is going to be a real fun journey going on the Onslaught story arc wave. So thanks for coming back, because you probably were like, is he going to do anything else, or has he started working again? I can assure you, I have not started working again. Till then, enjoy the vodka cherries, and I'll see you all soon.